and 8th special presentation.
This time on Art Beat Nation. On the road with rock royalty.
We were all so young, and we didn't have any worries or responsibilities.
A day in the life of a prima ballerina.
To have that physical, tangible sense of somebody appreciating you so much is so awesome.
Meet an alabaster stone carver.
Really, my art has been about celebrating this material.
And a photographic road trip spanning decades.
I'm hoping that I can transmit my feelings, my emotions, in terms of the print, so that the person can get the same response that I did.
It's all ahead on this edition of Art Beat Nation. Funding for Art Beat Nation is made possible by donations to Curate, the Arizona PBS Arts and Culture Fund, and by contributions to AIT from viewers like you. Thank you. We start with a blast from the musical past. As part of the iconic band The Moody Blues, musician Justin Hayward has been entertaining rock fans since the mid-'60s. We caught up with Hayward before a recent concert in Houston. Here's a listen.
It's a song which Justin wrote. It's called Tuesday Afternoon.
If I may quote Picasso, I think he said, inspiration has to find you working.
Tuesday afternoon, I'm just beginning to see.
Everything you write possibly going to be on an album, going to be a song.
I think every guitar player returns to certain phrases that they learn when they're a child and that they return to in particular guitar riffs. And you build a kind of style, and it's probably built between the ages of 13 and 25. Really? And then it's a question of leaning on that and using that. But whether I return and write the same song, no, in fact. But the biggest problem for me in the Moodies was in the early days when people were saying, can't you just write another Nights in White Satin?
Nights in white satin, never reaching the end. Letters I've written, never meaning to send.
I think all of us, in truth, were just living day by day, seeing what was going to happen. Nobody knew the possibilities. We were all so young, and we didn't have any worries or responsibilities.
I can't say anymore, 'cause I love you. Yes, I love you.
I came to the Moody Blues as a writer determined to do my songs. I could write and Mike could write, and that was the foundation that we built on.
Won't you take me back to school? I need to learn the golden rule. Won't you lay it on the line? I need to hear it just one more time. Oh, won't you tell me again? Oh, can you feel it? Oh, won't you tell me again tonight?
Songwriting and the music is a kind of mystery that I don't intend to analyze that much. It's as simple as that. It's a question of 5% inspiration and then 95% work really at it.
Once upon a time, once when you were mine, I remember skies reflected in your eyes. I wonder where you are. I wonder if you think about me. Once upon a time, in your wildest dreams.
You can check out Hayward's upcoming concert schedule at justinhayward.com. Now, we meet ballet dancer and Columbus, Ohio native Samantha Lewis. Lewis has been with the Ballet Met Columbus, her hometown dance company, for 6 years, and up next gives us a look at life as a ballerina both on stage and off.
I get up around 7:30 and leave around 8:30. Just in the morning, normal getting ready things, hair, makeup, normal girl things. Class starts at 9:15 and I spend about 30 to 45 minutes doing kind of a pre-class routine that I do. We have our ballet master, ballet mistress, our artistic director, and then a couple teachers from the academy that teach us. And there's a pretty standard order of exercises we do. There's always a way that you can be more expressive with your feet and the way that you're using your feet against the floor. You can always be more pulled up through your torso. You can always be softer with your port de bras or sharper with the dynamic of your legs. As soon as you think you've figured something out, you really realize that you have not figured it out at all. And there's a pretty standard order of exercises we do. Pliés, tendus, dégagés, rond de jambes, fondu, frappe, grand battement, adagio. And then we come into the center and that's a little bit more free form in terms of what order, what combinations are given. Every dancer likes their shoes a little bit different. We go through about 40 pairs a year. So at the beginning of the year, we have 40 pairs of brand new shoes. There's all sorts of tricks that you kind of learn growing up, and every dancer likes it a little different.
You should do that one where you go and get a
Our ankle joints get jammed a lot from the point work. Our trainer will work on releasing all the muscles around the ankle joint, calf muscles, and then she'll typically try to adjust the joint to going back to its normal functioning position.
See how much better it is when I get it to go?
When I had my ankle surgery, I really promised myself that I was going to do everything that I could to prevent any sort of future injuries to my ankles, get rid of some of the inflammation in my body, and it's kind of like pushing reset on my lower legs a little bit. When you put on a costume that you absolutely love, it is really the finishing touch on a performance that you've already worked so hard on. We're already critical and judgmental of ourselves, so the last thing you want to add on to that is being overly critical of yourself because of what you're wearing. Cooking for me is a big way to release stress, just because you have to focus on what you're doing, and the timing of it is so crucial that you can't think about anything else.
Sacrifice a goat on a
Ballet has afforded me so many opportunities. I would not change anything that I've done with it. I feel so privileged to do what I do and so lucky that I'm surrounded every day by people that are so passionate about what they do. Everyone is the most focused they've been in the rehearsal process the week leading up to the show. There's a real sense of camaraderie. We're all in this together. We want to put our best foot forward and really show everyone what we can do. The way that people step in for each other, the community that we've created is just so wonderful to work in. Ultimately, we are all competing for the same roles day in and day out. Anybody going out for a part against you is only going to push you to be that much better. I've done all of the steps a million times. I'm completely ready to do it. This person picked me for this part out of this company of people. I'm realizing that I will actually get closer to the performances that I want to give by letting go of trying to be perfect. Every time I step on stage, I remind myself of how lucky I am to be able to do what I do. Just, gratitude. It definitely feels like everything that you've worked so hard on has been appreciated. To have that physical, tangible sense of somebody appreciating you so much is so awesome. Yeah, standing ovation never gets old, that's for sure.
Over a prolific career spanning nearly 4 decades, Susan Zalkind and her late husband Paul Hawkins are recognized as pioneers of contemporary American, abstract, and functional alabaster sculpture. Known for hand-gathering the rarest of colored and translucent alabasters from the deserts of the American Southwest, their sculpture honors the shape and beauty of each stone.
We are in the shadow of Squaw Peak, which is the exact center of Arizona. And we're on the edge of the Verde Wilderness. So we live in this very magnificent, expansive corner of the planet where we can make a lot of noise and a lot of dust and not bother anybody. I'm Susan Zalkind, and I have been a professional alabaster stone carver for almost 40 years. Really, my art has been about celebrating this material. I'm so fortunate to just bring out the beauty of the stone. The stone itself speaks. It has a color, a figure, a shape, translucency, and it begins the conversation. I want the world to be comforted by the beauty of this stone, because alabaster really is a healing material. If you live with these pieces, if you hold them, your heart is open, you're comforted. I lift stone for a living. When I was washed on the shore of California dreaming in the early 70s, I had to figure out what I wanted to do with my life. It was certainly different from 2 master's degrees and working at a mental health center in Boston. I am, and my husband was, and we were graced, gifted by finding our passion and being able to actually do it and make a living from it. This was something we shared that was bigger than we were. Finding and bringing out the beauty and the glory of the stone and sharing it with the world has been our shared passion. We fell in love with this area, the Central Mountains of Arizona, and Sedona and the Verde Valley. And we went sniffing around for alabaster. We were driving northeast of Tucson up the San Pedro River Valley. And boy, it sure felt like there was alabaster there. And we got out and we started, poking around and with pry bars, tink, 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 thud, 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 tink, thud, 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 tink. And the tink was this magnificent white alabaster forming in bubbles just under the surface. Alabaster is the evaporate of the old inland seas. It's part of the geology of the planet. The minerals leach down through the stone to create the color. And so we found purples and reds and the oranges and the blacks and whites. I conceive of alabaster as petrified water because it shares the same qualities as water. It's soft, it's translucent, it's flowing, and that's what our pieces look like. They're soft, they're translucent, they're colorful, they're flowing. Basically, we transform this raw stone into vessels of beauty. And how do we do that? Well, we begin by hanging off cliffs, hand gathering this rare, colored and translucent and magnificent stone. People are attracted to the bowls, and they are magnificent. And our most popular item are the candle lamps. They'll go anywhere. They're elegant, they're gorgeous, they're luminous. They put a votive candle inside and they light up at night. Even a small one will glow a large room like you wouldn't believe. This is kind of a larger bowl, a candle lamp bowl that I carved, but this is the process that I pick out a raw stone and I take it first to the standing grinder and I hold it and I carve away the bark, the outside bark, and I reveal its shape and I start shaping the outside of the piece. This is where I begin for the smaller bowls. It can take weeks, it can take days, depending on the size of the stone, and that's just the outside. And once I know where the outside is, then I can start carving away the inside. And once I've carved a lot of the inside and the outside is almost there, I can start refining with smaller grinding discs till the shape is refined, refined, refined. And you just keep on refining until the outside is completely shaped and the inside is completely shaped. And then everything is hand sanded. My husband was a production engineer, and so he really adapted and developed tools that had never been used on this stone that have created pieces that the world's never seen before, from large to very tiny, like using dental tools to carve the roses. These tools had never been applied on this stone before. Always percussive tools had been used on it, which are the wrong tools for this delicate material. But with the right tools, a delicacy has been achieved that the world didn't know was possible before. We've created all of these genres, hundreds of genres, flowers and landscapes and inlays and doodly squats and faces and all these genres really. What do I want to make today? Really, there are so many possibilities always out there. This is a material that has been beloved for thousands of years by hundreds of cultures. The freedom that we experience from carving this stone, from exploring it, hey, I can do this, hey, I can do this, hey, well, what do you think of this? That's good, I think I'll do this, watch me. It was like we were playing aesthetic leapfrog and in the adventure of our lives, which was exploring this magnificent material and the possibilities of ourselves. Bet you can't carve a rose. Oh, yeah?
To learn more, visit alabaster.net. Photographer Tom Ferdebar of Wisconsin, who studied with the legendary Ansel Adams, has spent the last 40 years focusing his lens on the landmarks of Route 66 and the landscapes of the American West. His decades of work clearly capture his passion for photography.
I enjoy shooting the West. I enjoy shooting mountains, scenery. I also enjoy like Route 66, the memory of it, the old dilapidated homes, beat up cars. I don't know why, but it's in my DNA to like that subject matter. My name is Tom Ferdebar, and I'm a retired advertising and fine art photographer. I wanted to be a photographer from the age of 12 when my sister gave me a box camera. I really found it a nice way to express my emotions. I'm better, I think, at doing it visually than in words. It's a strange thing. All I knew is I wanted to be a photographer. When I finished high school, I applied at the Milwaukee Journal to be a photographer. And of course, with a high school education, they wouldn't accept me, but they gave me a job as a copy boy, which was an editorial assistant, $18 a week. I worked there about a year and a half, but they kept telling me, Tom, you got to go to college if you want to be a photographer here. So I went to University of Wisconsin, graduated from there, and moved on to spend 1 year at the Layton School of Art. My personal photography is, right now, it's devoted to shooting the Tetons National Park and Route 66. It's difficult to shoot the old road. It's pretty hard to make a good picture of the old road. But I enjoy shooting the older buildings as they're dilapidating. And in a way, there'll always be the ability to shoot Route 66 because the buildings along the way, some of them are decaying more and more and more, and some of the newer ones today will be decaying in 10 or 12 years. So there's always a new supply of old buildings and old cars and so on to photograph. So it isn't like you've exactly run out of subjects. My plan normally is to say shoot one state. Okay, let's say I'm going to go out this trip for 10 or 12 days and I'll shoot New Mexico. So I'll drive to the edge of New Mexico and then start shooting. Might take me 3 or 4 or 5 days to cross New Mexico. Then I'll come back, because coming back you see different things. The lighting is different. You see subjects from a different angle. So I'll shoot New Mexico coming back too. And then if I see something in some of the other states, Missouri or Kansas or Illinois, I'll shoot them too. But basically I'll go out and shoot one state. I like black and white for some fine art subjects. For Route 66, I think I like the color better. Ansel Adams is probably my primary mentor. I learned about him, I guess that would be shortly after I finished college in the 50s, and was lucky enough to get an invitation to one of his seminars. It was his third seminar, and he only accepted 20 students. And the seminar was 10 days long, but it was a tremendous experience working with him. Just a marvelous experience. And that's one I'll never forget. We were out there one day near Mariposa, California, photographing some barns. And then I saw near the bottom of the barn a cluster of barley growing up in front of the weathered wood of the barn. And I said, that'd be a beautiful shot. But boy, it's going to look just like Ansel Adams shot it, and he's here, and if I set up my camera, he's going to say, can't you do anything original, So I set it up to make a horizontal cropping, which I knew was wrong because it should be vertical. Everything was going that way, and you shouldn't try to make something vertical into a horizontal. But anyways, I set it up. Okay, Ansel came by a little while later, and he bent down under the focusing cloth, which is that black cloth that covers the camera, and he looked into the camera for a while, and he took the cloth off, and he looked at me, and he said, Tom, don't you think that should be a vertical? So that really made me happy, because that's what I wanted. So of course I took the back of the camera, turned it, made my vertical shot, and that's one of the shots that I'm most proud of from that series. His philosophy was A camera is designed and the lens is designed to make things sharp and to show detail. That's kind of what I took away from him. Pictures should be sharp from the foreground to the distance if you can, and you should have a full range of values from solid black to pure white. There's such a great variety there at Yosemite. Tremendous just variety of subjects to shoot. When I make a photograph, my goal is to have the viewer experience the same emotion when they look at the photograph that I did when I saw the subject. I'm hoping that I can transmit my feelings, my emotions in terms of the print so that the person can get the same response that I did.
You can see more photographs at tomferdebar.com. For more arts and culture, visit azpbs.org/artbeat, where you'll find feature videos and information on the Arizona art scene. Funding for Artbeat Nation is made possible by donations to Curate, the Arizona PBS Arts and Culture Fund, and by contributions to AIT from viewers like you. Thank you.